Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I hope y'all are having a good evening, and I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I was not here Monday because I was still at my folks' place, celebrating Christmas. I was fortunate enough to have an extended weekend this week, or last week, I guess. I got a lot of well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I got some nice things. Particularly I want to mention, you might notice I have a new camera angle. That's because my laptop has a new fan, a new laptop fan, a new base. I don't know what they're called. I think, yeah, a laptop cooler platform thing, and it can raise up, right? You can rise up and put your computer at an angle. So, yeah, I don't know if you can notice it's pointing like sort of downwards now. So that's neat. I also got one of these. Good morning, everybody. How are ya? It's not real. That's the joke. I planned on actually opening the stream with me talking into this, but I forgot. So the joke isn't very funny. But if you can imagine what it would have been like, maybe you'll laugh a little bit. What else is new? I'm wearing my scarf. I got this as a Christmas present from a friend of mine a while ago. I didn't know how to wear it properly until recently. So, I forwent wearing it on stream before because it was like out here and I couldn't get up to the microphone. But I figured it out. I think it looks nice. It's a very basic scarf, but yeah, I think I'm gonna be incorporating this into my look more often. I really like how it turned out there. Let's see. This is the last stream this year. Because Friday I will be celebrating New Year's Eve with friends. So no stream on Friday. So sorry about that if you're looking forward to that. We'll be doing a 2-hour stream tonight as per usual. I would do 3 hours, but I do have some things I need to do after the stream. So apologies for that. Anything else? Anything else is important? I guess that's it. Well, speaking of, we're playing Solstice today, which is a game, obviously, which is a segue into saying that I got a few new games earlier on my trip back home. Stopped by a game exchange, got some new stuff. So when we eventually get to my console games, we'll have plenty to choose from. Eventually, we have to get through the Steam backlog first, which probably isn't going to happen for a while. But yeah, look forward to that. But without further ado, I suppose it's time to get on with it. No special plans for tonight. I didn't plan a New Year's Eve thing. Probably should have. But all we're doing tonight is continuing our let's play, our playthrough of Solstice. If you haven't been here for a Solstice stream, it's essentially a visual novel. Well, it is a visual novel. Set in a, I guess, sort of like a Magitech sort of city inside a dome. It's in the middle of like a snow wasteland. There's some plot stuff I need to refresh up on. We'll do that when we get in the game. So, that said, here it is. Mike, Solstice. So I need to turn the volume on so you can hear the game. There he is. This game does in fact have audio. It does not, however, have voice acting. So I'm going to do my best to provide all the voices. I forgot what voices I gave everybody. We'll figure it out though. Everybody can hear everything? I think so. According to Streamlabs, you should be able to hear it. Okay. Here we go. Load game. So I think we're on like chapter 2. I don't know if anybody here cares about spoilers for this game. It's rather obscure. But yeah, we're not at the beginning. So here we go. Things were not looking up. My worst suspicions received a very tangible confirmation. The system was clearly unbalanced, possibly via intentional sabotage. What's worse, nobody in the city seemed to understand the gravity of the situation or its underlying implications. Well, almost nobody. It was high time to have a few words with our mysterious doctor. Okay, so this game has a great feature where it lets you read everything that's happened, basically. So let's see. Basically, what is this city called? I don't remember. There's a city in the middle of the north where everything is frozen, and it has a dome on it. Everybody is a slave to the bank. And there's believed to be some sort of treasure or something underneath the city that this guy is looking for. He went crazy. I think he went out one day to find, or he came here to the city to find Kala, the treasure, and he didn't find it, so he went crazy, and now he's like psycho, and he's disappeared. That's like the inciting incident. He left, and he has been back for a while. So this guy, Galen, he's a doctor who showed up to the city. He's looking for Lev. And at the same time, Yani was sent to the city to investigate reports of some systems relating to the dome failing. She's like from some high council or whatever. And I think she's here undercover. Nobody else knows why she's here. They just think she's like a technician or whatever. And she's answering to Istvan, who used to be the banker, but he's in charge of everything still. He's basically the governor. I think that's all the important stuff. Like that's the spark notes. So let us begin. So this is Galen, the doctor. Let's not delay this any longer. It's high time we talked, Yani. I agree. There's nothing like an explosion to raise questions. I have plenty, believe me. Oh, right. Something like a lamp exploded in the city square. And she thinks that it has something to do with the system going haywire. I'm glad we're on the same page then. Let me start. This has been bugging me since I found you in the snow. And you've been really dodgy about it. Okay, yeah, so Galen on the way to the city found Yani almost dead, lying in the snow, because her convoy abandoned her, I think. What exactly made you risk your life to get here? You don't strike me as the reckless type. Should I tell him? The truth? A lie? Well, it's probably in our best interest that he does not know. So, we're gonna tell him a lie. I already told you, I came here for a job. What's so strange about that? So a few gold coins are enough to make you risk your life? Come on. I didn't exactly plan to end up a snowman. That was a slight miscalculation. Slight? Listen, as surprising as this may sound, some of us have to eat. The families pay extraordinarily well if you have the right skills. The families being like the aristocrats who live here that leave during the snowstorm. And I'm a very competent technician. Plus, working in this place offers a certain prestige. Pity. I was hoping you'd secretly been contracted to work at the bathhouse. Constance is all alone. She could definitely use some help. I'm flattered you think I look good enough for the job. Well, let's not jump to conclusions. I still don't understand why you're investigating Lev's disappearance. Why are you looking for him? Does that offer prestige too? What now? I can't blow my cover. I know that this is somehow gonna like bite me later. Like, oh, you lied? You know? But, I can't blow my cover. Ha! I was hoping you could tell me. Istvan personally asked me to look for him, and he's not the kind of person who takes no for an answer. But it made me think there might be more to Lev's disappearance. Do you have any idea what that's all about? Istvan ordered his technician to look for the local madman. Sorry, but I'm as stumped as you are. I see. And why are you searching for Lev? And why are you searching for Lev? Okay. I think he's already told everybody why he's looking for Lev. So, I don't see a reason. I guess I'm him now? This is an odd setup. But he's already told everybody else why he's looking for him, because he's gone, and he's gone for a long time. So he'll tell her the truth. I too think there's more to his disappearance than meets the eye. Leaving the city isn't an option, which means he must still be around. My guess is that he's found a place no one knows about. No surprise either. His quest for Kala meant he searched every inch of this city. I'm sure he knows many of its secrets. Why would a doctor on a temporary contract care about things like this? Why would a doctor on a temporary contract care about things like this? Tell her the truth. It's my job to prevent those secrets from becoming public knowledge. Wait, what? How do I read back again? Okay, by using the mouse wheel. It's my job. Wait, did he mention secrets? I can't reverse back before I made a choice. That's right. Wait, why is it his job? Who are you exactly? Ever heard of the Academy on the Isles? The Magicians? That's what they call us, yes, but that's not important. What matters is that the city exists thanks to our craft. Oh, right, okay, so Galen knows about what Kala is from Yakone. She drove Galen here, but she's a native to the north. Kala is basically like a magic barrier or something, like a signet or a ritual or something, that makes the city an oasis. Now I suppose Galen, let's see, Galen graduated from the Academy on the Isles. He's a doctor and a magician. Okay, so magicians are the ones who came down and made the magic circle or whatever. So I guess he's invested now for that reason. Do you know how difficult it is to create a blooming garden in the middle of a frozen wasteland? I do, actually. You must have done your part badly. You must have done your part badly, though. Your blooming garden has an unnerving tendency to explode. We love to spice our creations with a hint of chaos. This, however, wasn't planned. Something strange is going on here, and I was sent to prevent it from getting worse. Wait, he was? Well, this is news to me, chat. I didn't know this. It seems we have a common goal, at least. Let's not dwell on personal priorities. We should focus on the task at hand. We need to find Lev. Agreed. 2 amateur investigators are better than 1. Okay, so he wants to find Lev because he's interested in the magic. And she wants to find Lev because he might have something to do with the failure, the system failure. Indeed. Research shows interdisciplinary teams are much more efficient than separate individuals. Not to mention way more fun. And since we're pooling knowledge, look what I got from Slava. What's that? A notebook. I can see that. Why are you showing this to me? I got it from Slava. It belonged to Lev. That lock looks very sturdy. Can you open it? I figured locks were more up your alley. Unfortunately, this one is booby-trapped. I'll need to focus to open it, so I'll do it in my study. Let me know if you find anything, will you? Something tells me you don't trust me with this. What can I say? It takes time to trust someone. And proof, especially in a city where everyone seems to be hiding something. You must be very lonely. Even if so, it's none of your concern. Let's get back to our task, shall we? Welcome, Cap, to the stream. We learned that Galen is a magician, and he's interested in finding, or he was sent here by the Academy of Magicians to investigate things that were happening here. Investigate weird magic stuff. So we just learned that. Let's get back to our task, shall we? I guess. Why don't you let me mingle and collect gossip while you focus on the more technical side of things? I think you'll agree that I'm the people person on our little team. So Galen is also a spy. Yes. Galen is also here under false pretenses. So he told Yani the truth about why he's here, but Yani has not told Galen the truth as to why she's here. So that might be interesting later. So basically you want me to shut up and spend my time locked in my workshop. That's not going to happen. It was just a suggestion. No need to get so defensive. What have you found so far, then? A few things. I'll tell you if you promise to share what you know. Of course. I truly want to find Lev, you know. Good. Then let's go through my notes, and quickly. I need to pay Istvan a visit soon. Slava said Lev's diary was his most precious possession. All his hypotheses, clues, and delusions were written on these pages. All I have to do is open it, which won't be easy, judging by the symbols etched onto the cover, how heavy it is. This is more than just a notebook. It's more like a small treasure box. One with a good lock, too. Interesting. My hands get cold when I touch it. I sense liquid inside. Not water, though. I know it's booby-trapped, but how? This is quality craftsmanship, both mechanical and spiritual. It must have been expensive. I doubt Lev could afford it. He either stole it, or he received it as a gift. But it hardly matters. I need to get this thing open and learn as much as I can before things start exploding again. All right, time for some forensic examination. Exhibit 1, Lev's diary. No need to hurry with this. Whatever safety mechanism they installed inside the notebook, its goal is probably to prevent anyone from reaching its contents. So let's do this the smart way, shall we? Paper, leather, and metal. My guess is that the liquid inside is some kind of caustic agent. I better prepare something to neutralize it, just in case. Alright. Let's see if I can unhinge the mechanism with a scalpel. It's too complex. I'll have to cut it and pry it open with the forceps. I better take the garden gloves, too. I enjoy having skin on my hands, after all. Alright. Here goes. Anybody want to take their bets? Will he trigger the booby trap or will he not? I'm thinking this is going to go wrong somehow. But I don't know how. Booby trap will activate. One more cut. I'm guessing that was the sound of the acid ampoules breaking. Clever. It's oozing all over the pages now. My solution is working well, though. I have some time to browse the diary. Let's see. I was right about the guide, leading me to my goal. A new path, in plain sight, yet it remains hidden from the unworthy. Some wild ideas and deranged hypotheses. A few descriptions of his reconnaissance trips. Nothing revealing. Wait! This is interesting. I met with I again. Now I know what I should do. This is a guide I can trust. Someone who understands that Kala isn't just an object, but is also a test. It judges us and reveals itself only to those with knowledge, skill, and magic. I better write this down. I is probably an initial. I wonder who it is. Okay. I wonder, well, the only person we know whose name starts with I is Istvan. But why would he do that? Yakone is the one who has all the magic knowledge. So why would Istvan be the one to lead him in the right direction? Interesting. Istvan? feel like I'm stuck again. Perhaps I should get a professional opinion. Time to pay Kasaya a visit. Are you off to see Istvan? Good luck. He's in a foul mood. Shouldn't you be stopping me right now? Right? Not this time. I'm going home. If Istvan expects me to stay up all night to service him and then continue the next day without sleep, he's even crazier than I thought. Oh. You were with Istvan all night. I had no idea. I don't know the rules here yet. What? No! How could you think? No! Istvan was stargazing and ordered me to stay in case he needed anything. Oh. Istvan is an astronomer? That seems like a step in the right direction. Rulers need knowledge. Oops. It's not a step in the right direction, I assure you. You can't become wise overnight, and Istvan hasn't the patience for it. He believes in easy answers. He spent the whole night attempting to learn. That should count for something. Sure it does. Dementia. He was muttering about a special night, star alignment, magic, and mathematics. He kept me up because astrology told him something is about to happen. Istvan is obsessed with astronomy, though impatient and careless. Okay. So maybe he does have something to do with magic. Well, maybe astrology told him to talk to Lev. That could be a thing, right? What? Don't know, don't care. If you want, you can go up and ask him yourself. I wouldn't be the first to come up and go unsupervised. I wouldn't be the first to come and go unsupervised. Please don't tell him I said that. Don't worry, I won't say a thing. But I can see this angers you. Trust me, you'll feel better after telling him off. Ancestors forbid I could never do that. Do it here then, behind his back. Feels almost as good as the real thing, you'll see. I'm not sure. It's just that... Why am I supposed to enforce some stupid rule when every other woman is allowed to break it? It does sound rotten. Who was it you had to tolerate? I really can't say. But if you see an attractive woman in this town, you can be sure she's been seduced by a family member and was above the code of conduct at some point. The gates to this district are supposed to be closed, but the bedposts stay wide open. So if it's free access you want, be nice to Istvan. I think I'll pass. Wise move. The best ones go high, earn riches and official posts, but they're never the same afterwards. It never ends well. Honestly, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Can you give me an example? Anything recent, perhaps? I wouldn't dare. It might hurt someone. More importantly, it might hurt me. You don't believe me? Fine. It's no secret how Constance got the bathhouse. Ask anyone. Constance seduced Istvan? She agreed to spend many years with Istvan's brother as his unofficial companion. Interesting. If that's true, she seems to have made a deal that suits her. She has his confidence and some autonomy, not to mention the bathhouse. The bathhouse was a reward for being with Istvan's brother. Such deals are common in the city. Okay. She learned to play their game and to utilize her opportunities the same way they do. but she's definitely not as delicate or spontaneous as she was before. I've already told you too much. Go, see Istvan. If you understand any of what I said, you'll be wary and avoid scruples. Do you? Do you? I'm one of the decent ones. I lost this game. What a mess. How can anyone work in such an environment? Discipline of thought should be visible in every aspect of one's actions. If that's true, Istvan's science must have gone mad. But this telescope is clearly faculty technology. The best there is. He must be serious about his pursuit of astronomy. These instruments cost a fortune, but he doesn't even clean them. What do you think you're doing here? You should be fixing the city, not disturbing my studies. We spoke about this yesterday. I need to see the city plans first. Before you get to what's important, like the lamppost that blew up yesterday. If you're going to question my every move, this will take forever. Do I really need to explain every basic thing to you? Okay, Yani. Calm down. Only if you want to get anything done in this city. I need to get to the main control chamber for accurate readings. Every other access point gives only a sliver of control. I've been ruling this city for over a decade. This is my first time hearing about a control chamber. My guess is the architects wanted to protect you from yourselves. Your politics don't always put the wisest on top. Gah! The plans are on the table for you. Are you telling me your secret chamber is just listed there? The layer showing the systems, along with all its access points, is written in faculty code. Remember those strange symbols? No. Show me. What the? It's missing. Did you give it to someone? Who else had access to these? What are you insinuating, kid? The plans were kept safe in the library archives downstairs. Access to that area is restricted to family members. And no one would know how to read your damn code or even what it's all about. It would indeed require considerable knowledge to decipher. But don't tell me only the families are allowed in. I just entered undisturbed. Who else would have taken the plans? You were invited because you've proven your identity and the guards know you're to be trusted. To a point. Do you have any other trusted visitors that could freely walk in? You are testing my patience. Trust is not something I give lightly. I heard rumors that some women might have access here. I'm sorry, but I must ask. Yani? I'll explain this once. My brother used to be a careless ruler with mistresses who could do as they pleased. That was years ago. I took the seat when he passed, stars bless him, and things changed. I only let in trusted family members and faculty technicians, such as yourself. Anyone else would be my private matter and not of your concern. Do I make myself clear? I know this is hard for you to understand, but working outside of the main control chamber is like building a bridge with your bare hands. The thief took my main tools. Making excuses already. Find what caused the explosion, fix it, and never bother me again. Can you do that? Honestly, I'm not sure. Hopefully I'll know more after I examine the marketplace. Since I need to focus on finding the access point, I have to rely on Galen to find Lev. Would you mind if I shared some of my knowledge with him? He's already engaged himself. Ha! An interesting choice. There's certainly more to our young doctor than meets the eye, isn't there? Unless you chose him because of some infatuation.
Is that why you ask? It's not a matter of his looks, but his education. Something people here are in dire need of. I do not base my decisions on emotions. I'm asking about Galen because I want to be objective. I lack the facts needed to make an informed decision. He's a fairly secretive person. Galen seems a very capable doctor, if a tad young. It was almost a miracle that he cured you. If he wished you harm, he already had the chance to act. Yet he's managed to help you, Slava, and a couple of others since he came. All signs suggest he's reliable. He could be of much use, if you let him be. I guess you're right. Thank you for your advice. Good. Enough chit-chat. This city was meant to be everlasting, and now it falls apart like a cheap toy. If I find out the faculty's a fraud, or that they've sent an incompetent technician, I'll take action, starting with you. Don't worry. I'll find the cause of the explosion as fast as I can. I'll try to learn more about Lev's disappearance as well. I promise to get to the bottom of this. Youngsters are always the same. I need solutions, not cocky promises. Fix the marketplace and point out the guilty party. Fast. Otherwise, we'll get doubt, fear, and finally, unrest. I would hate to deal with that. People need to see the lamppost back to normal. They need to feel safe with the culprit behind bars, and I need to get back to my astronomy. Do you understand? I do. Then get on with your work and keep in mind that your time is limited. Are we done here? Is there anything else?
Would it be a mistake to test his patience and ask about Kala? I mean, it would be helpful to the investigation. And it's not like we've been subservient so far. Thoughts? Thoughts, chat? Ask about Kala, lol. I believe you thought a lot about that. So, we'll ask about Kala. I mean, what's he gonna do? Fire me? Like, come on. Who else is he gonna get down here? Just, one more thing. What do you know about Kala? I tell you to get to work and you take interest in fairy tales! Are you dumb, child? I will not tell you anything unless you deliver at least a semblance of a result. Do not strain my patience. Good day. If questions are considered dumb here, then I can see how the city ended up the way it did. Damn. She has no chill. Absolutely no chill. Here comes our young detective. Afraid of the competition? I would be happy to see you solve this investigation and find Lev all by yourself, but I doubt that's possible. So, no, I don't find you threatening, Galen. Are you alright? You seem tense. I'll be blunt. There are two things I truly hate. Not knowing what's going on, and surprises. Those are kind of the same thing. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Unfortunately for me. Well, prepare for some more disturbing news. On my way here, I noticed marks on the leaves of several plants. A very slight discoloration. Are they sick? I can't be sure without thorough examination, but different species of varying sizes were affected, including some very resilient ones. They all have one thing in common, though. Vulnerability to cold. The merchants who built this city brought these plants from southern lands for only one reason: to show off. Well, it looks like their power is dwindling.
The changes were minute, so the cause must be recent. City plans are missing from the family's library. They're written in faculty code. Plants in the city show symptoms of frostbite. Ambient temperature must be dropping. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Our shield is dying. It made me worried about the greenhouse plants, too. There's some very vulnerable rarities which must be kept in perfect condition. I need them to prepare the stronger medications, so it's a big deal. This is bad news. Can you keep an eye on this and tell me if anything changes? We could use your herbs as an early warning system. Of course, the garden is my responsibility anyways. Do you think this could be related to the explosion in the market? I do, yes. Then it's safe to assume the temperature will continue to drop until the system is repaired. Do you have any idea what might have caused the failure? I think it was sabotaged. But maybe I shouldn't be discussing this with you at all. The trouble started when you and Yani came to the city. If I had a list of suspects, you'd be at the top. Yeah, he doesn't have a list of suspects though, because, you know, he doesn't do his job. He hasn't even done that. What is he even doing in here? He's just pussyfooting around, looking in the cells like, yep, still empty. I wonder how their investigation is going. Really? Wouldn't coming to you with this incriminating information make me a terrible schemer? Why would I do that? Maybe you just enjoy my company? Now there's a shocking idea. Do I enjoy his company? No. I've wanted to tell you for a while, Captain. You're much too sure of yourself. Maybe we should focus on the more immediate task of finding Lev, huh? Learned anything new? Oh, now you care? I hate this guy, by the way. This guy blows. What is his name? Kasaya? Kasaya sucks. We come to him about a missing person. Like, yeah, this guy's been missing for 2 weeks. He's like, oh, okay. Why is that my job? He's like the security. He's the head of security, by the way. He's like the town guard captain. I hate him. He is full of himself. You were right about Slava hiding something. But I managed to convince her to be more open with me, and she gave me an important clue. Lev's diary. Well done. Did you learn anything from it? I did. Shortly before his disappearance, Lev met with someone, an ally he didn't name. The person was apparently an expert on Kala and advised him to search for it using magic. It's safe to assume this person may have been involved in his disappearance. So someone was directly involved in Lev's last expedition, and he took a sudden interest in magic. Galen, I'm impressed. You've coped with this investigation well. Yeah, no thanks to you, pal. You're either a natural or very lucky. Lucky? I suppose that works for you, sitting in your guardhouse and waiting for luck to work its magic. Huh. You're quite passionate about this investigating business, Galen. Maybe you are city guard material after all. Tell me, have you ever solved something similar in your career? You want to hear my story? Did Constance send you? No, of course not. I'm just curious. And why would Constance send me to you anyway? She can be very inquisitive, especially when it comes to sensitive topics. She's been trying to learn about my past for years. I used to think she's simply curious. Some people are like that. But when I noticed how frustrated she gets when I refuse to talk, I realized it must be something else. What are you suggesting? Let me just say I can recognize an informant when I see one. In that case, you have nothing to fear from me. I simply wish to know you better. That remains to be seen. But alright, I'll humor you. Before I came here, I spent many years working as a guard in larger cities, usually wealthy ports. Wealth attracts crime. Indeed, I had my hands full. I've seen a lot. I've investigated several cases of missing husbands and wives, too. They all had one thing in common. You never found them? Every single one of them went missing because of their spouse. It became very clear, very fast, that I was dealing with murder. A husband who removed his wife so he could marry his lover without having a rich and powerful father-in-law as an enemy. Or a wife who became so obsessively jealous she imagined her husband was having an affair with her sister and hired an assassin to kill them both. That's terrible. Is it? The way I see it, it's human nature to hurt each other, whether with iron and gold or silk and intrigue. Constance was right. You do have a lot of stories to tell. I'm rarely in a talkative mood. You're lucky, Galen. What else should I ask? Did Slava kill Lev? Like he would know. Why did he quit?
I really don't care about him enough, but I have to choose, so... Were you always a guard? Why did you quit? Which of these would be more useful? Could we get anything useful from these? I mean, I guess I could add, well, we're pretty sure that Lev is not dead. Guard? Okay. So, we'll rule this out. Why was he always a guard? Okay, we'll ask. Wait. You said you spent many years working as a guard. I'm curious as to what made you become a man of justice in the first place. What kind of person were you before? You used to be a sellsword, right? Do you really want to know? I wouldn't be asking otherwise. I was a killer. A blade for hire, a mercenary. A soldier with no cause other than becoming rich and famous. I prefer not to talk about it. Let's just say I never had the bloodthirst necessary to draw satisfaction from killing. When I made enough money, I left the trade routes in that part of my life behind. I bought a house in a city and began anew. I understand. Don't worry, I know when to stop asking questions. He killed for money and fame, nothing else. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe Kasaya is guilty here. I mean, think about it, right? He was a killer. You know, he's a professional killer, first of all, in his past, if he's telling the truth. Second, he doesn't want to involve himself in the investigation. He wants to have as little to do with it as possible, which is super suspicious for somebody who is a guard. 3, I hate him. And 4, well, that's all I got, really. But things are starting to add up here. Maybe I should let you get back to your investigation? About that, I want your opinion on one more thing. Do you think there's any connection between the explosion and Lev's disappearance? You might as well ask Laura and her cards about that. It's impossible to say at this stage. But it's always a good idea to observe how people behave in situations like this. Stress and pressure magnify the things we like to keep hidden. Thanks for the advice. What's your next move? There are two people I haven't talked to yet. Sem and Istvan. You better be careful around Istvan. He has absolute power in this city, a volatile temper, and armed men at his disposal. Sem is both odd and harmless. They both might have some valuable information. Besides, at this point, you should collect what you can from all available sources. That's my plan. I enjoy talking with people too much to stop anyways. I better leave you now. Thanks again for your help. Don't mention it. It was nice talking with you, Galen. We'll meet again at the party in the bathhouse tonight. We will. I enjoyed chatting with you too. Okay. Visit Istvan or visit Sem? So does it count as metagaming if, like, we're both characters? Because, like, we know that Istvan trusts Galen. So I don't think there's much risk of us talking to Istvan. But Galen doesn't know that. So should we play it in character? And then again, Sem did give us some... Well, didn't we already talk to Sem? Sem's the dog guy, right? I thought we already talked to Sem. Why would we need to visit him again? What? Why does music sound familiar? I could have sworn I've heard that song in a different game. That's really odd. Anyway. So, Istvan or Sem? What do you think? What do you think, chat? I really don't think either of us could help us at this point anymore, but... Sem? Why do you do this to me? Why do you make me talk to the weird dog man? Okay. Let's give old Sem a visit. I know Lev is a recluse, but I also know you two spoke from time to time. That's why I'm here. What I'm saying is he's been more antisocial than usual. He's paid more attention to dogs than to people. So, just like you, I have my reasons, Doctor. Please, it's Galen. Right. I have my reasons to prefer the kennels to the inn, Galen. Lev's reasons, however, beats me. My guess is it had some connection to Kala. Maybe. Why are you so interested in Lev? I want to get the treasure. I want to solve the mystery. Well, we know it's not a treasure. We want to solve the mystery? No, we're here to help Slava. That's what this is all about, initially, right? Well, okay, we don't actually care about Slava. We care about Lev. We're not necessarily here to help Slava. We're here to find Lev. You know, there's a distinction there. I think solve the mystery is probably our best answer here. I want to get to the bottom of this. The only other person who seems competent enough to do it is Kasaya. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem interested in doing his job, so I took initiative. What do you want to know? When was the last time you saw Lev? We came across him the night he disappeared. By we, I assume you mean you and your dogs? Who else? Anything unusual happen? It was a strange night, disturbing for the dogs. Look, I already told Yani about it and don't feel like repeating myself. They were afraid of something on the night he vanished. Okay. Even if it helps me find Lev? I don't enjoy long talks, Galen. Listen, you probably think my sole goal in life is to be a nuisance to you, but that's hardly the case. I just need information. Uncomfy. Sam's blinking makes me uncomfy. Does he blink? Oh. Whoa. Does they all blink the same? Why would they do it like that? Why would they have it fade in and out? Oh yeah, that's a little bit weird. On the other hand, a social butterfly like you probably doesn't know anything, and I really am wasting my time. Maybe you are. Or maybe you're too afraid to spill something that might put your ass in danger. You've been awfully jittery since I came. Provoking me by calling me a coward. Everyone's afraid of something, especially around here. But you, my friend? It's clear you're running from something. And you got that from my reluctance for petty gossip. Very well. If it's hearsay you want, get that notebook of yours ready. Oh, I'm counting on more than hearsay. Hit me. Have you noticed that Yukone likes to distance herself from her people and their silly traditions? I thought that was a front, so I got her drunk. Before she came to the city, she was training to be a wise woman. She was? She came here to study the caves, but had a sudden change of heart after signing her compact. Now, spirituality is the least of her concerns. Got her drunk just for that? She was training to become a wise woman. Okay, so that's interesting because she told everybody that she hates her tribe, that she doesn't want to be a wise woman. I like to know what kind of people I'm dealing with. Do you think those are dog furs on his jacket? I've just been thinking about that. Right? I mean, look at all the furs he's got in this house. I mean, surely he's skinning some of them, right? Or maybe he... Well, actually, what does he do? Does he go out and hunt? Maybe. Can't say I've ever used the method. Can't say I've ever used the method. Who else did you get drunk? Slava, Laura, Kasaya, Constance. There's only so much you can do in the dead season, and everyone has something they want to forget. Smart move for a man who supposedly only knows how to deal with dogs. Kasaya and Constance can drink like fish and stay sober, but you can still piece a lot together. And people say you're a hermit. Can't believe nobody managed to see through your facade. I understand the value of information. I socialize when it's necessary. Like right now, by feeding me rumors about others to divert attention from yourself. Don't think I haven't noticed. Yet you play along. I tell you a thing or two about a few people. You stop asking about my past. A fair deal. Agreed. Let's start with Slava. Wait, so you're just gonna play along even though you acknowledged that he's like duping you? Okay. I mean, I'm not the doctor / magician here, so maybe Galen knows best. She and Lev were scholars turned treasure hunters. When Lev lost his sanity, she became the innkeeper to save them from starvation. Yes, I know. Was she an archaeologist like her husband? A cartographer, apparently a good one. Back in her homeland, she used to sail with royal explorers charting unknown waters. She left that life for Lev. She was a marine explorer and cartographer. Interesting. Abandoning a life of adventure for this must have required remarkable devotion. An educated woman agreed to servitude to save her crazy husband. Calling her devoted is an understatement. I'd be surprised if she didn't regret it by now. Is that why she's friends with Laura? They share similar stories. Laura's family are nobles who do business with the bank on a regular basis. Wait, I missed that. I'd be surprised if she didn't regret it by now. Is that why she's friends with Laura? They share similar stories? Laura's families are nobles who do business with the bank on a regular basis. She came here as an envoy to negotiate some kind of trade agreement. In the end, she became the bargain, forced to sign a compact to seal the deal. What? Was she taken hostage as a guarantee? The merchants wanted to manifest their power, turn a highborn into a clerk. Some considered it excessive, but one ambitious figure insisted on doing it anyway. Istvan. Indeed. Spirits. Bruh. That's pretty lame. She needs to get a better family. Her own family traded her freedom for a profitable contract. So she was one of the families. I guess her unhappiness makes a lot more sense. Well, I mean, it already kind of made sense, but now it makes a lot more. Terrible, yes. Knowing Laura's past makes it easier to endure her constant nagging. I feel like I just took a stroll up and down the sewers. I suspect you don't know any happy secrets? I'm afraid that was the last juicy piece. As for others, do your own homework. That's disappointing. I was expecting to hear something about Yani. It's too soon for me to know much about her. But it's obvious she carries secrets. Possibly dangerous ones. What makes you think that? She's cold and disciplined in a way that suggests training. She was taught how to stay composed and focused. She also tried to traverse the desert on her own, on foot. That makes her either suicidal or desperate. She doesn't strike me as the former, and desperate people are always dangerous. Well, we know her motive, so fair enough. You've earned your right to be left in peace. I only have one more question, Sam. It's been bothering me ever since I learnt Lev was visiting your dogs. Did he ever want to use them in his quest for Kala? Did he ask you for permission? No. Never. But even if he did, my permission wouldn't matter. I doubt he could force them to help him. They do whatever they want and help only if they want to help. I see. But on a theoretical level, do you think they could do that? Track down an object? If they weren't so stressed, perhaps. They're not tracking dogs, and the warmth and strong smells of the city dull their senses. Stressed? Ever since the night Lev vanished, whatever they sense, it scared them. They haven't recuperated. Thank you. I think I took enough of your time already. I know you're not used to having visitors. Not anymore. Everyone's suddenly taken interest in what I have to say. Really? Like who? Your friend Yani likes talking to me. The chief of the guard came the other day as well. Yani can be charming company indeed. I even have a few ideas about why she came. But what did Kasaya want? He was asking about the dogs, like you. He wanted to know if it was possible to track down Lev with your help. Of course. Well, is it? I told him the same thing I just told you. The dogs are stressed and won't cooperate. It would also be difficult for them to distinguish Lev's scent after so many days. Pity. Indeed. Galen, can I ask you a favor? Of course. I'll help if I can. Some of the pups have become apathetic. They don't eat. Sometimes they get aggressive towards me and the rest of the pack. I was wondering if you could have a look at them, just in case. Oh, I thought you were the expert here. I'm not a doctor, and I'm afraid I could be overlooking some obvious physical cause. It could be that they have, I don't know, parasites? Maybe you should check their, you know. Should I examine the dogs? Of course. I mean, I don't have anything else to do. Like, I have the time, so. Plus, we might figure out what the heck is stressing them out so much. Well, I can't promise anything, as this is beyond my area of expertise, but I can at least take a look. Thank you, Galen. I appreciate it. You can begin with this one. He fell ill first. Did his behavior change? He became aggravated for no apparent reason. Now he refuses to eat or go for a walk. Same for the others. Did you change their diet or anything else in their daily routine? No. Well, I can see he's exhausted. Now he is. He was irritated and aggressive a bit ago. Aggressive? Did he attack anyone? No, but they all bark at people. This one growled at Constance this morning when we passed her in the market, and then at me when I tried to calm him down. Cheeky little thing. I know far less about dogs than you, to be honest, and I don't see any physical cause for alarm. He seems well fed and in good health. He is. But I can prepare something that might help them relax. Herbs? Yes. Don't worry. I'll adjust the dosage. So there should be no negative side effects. I'll get back to you later today. Okay. Thanks. Don't mention it. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. Is there something else? Yes. They usually get jumpy as the solstice approaches, but this year, it's really bad. It worries me. Smart creatures, then. Just like us, that are aware that something strange is going on, and that they can do little to prevent it. It's both frustrating and infuriating. You're talking about the saboteur. Yes, you seem quite calm about all this. Worrying about crazy people helps no one. You think we're dealing with an insane person? Destroying the city from within the middle of true winter is suicide. What if it's not? Perhaps the saboteur knows something we don't. All crazy people think that. Lev, for example, thought the dogs knew about the secrets he was looking to uncover. Maybe they do. You yourself said the dogs react to the solstice each year. Indeed they do. Do you know why? Lev thought they had some kind of special connection to Kala. Really? Do you agree with him? Lev saw hidden meanings in everything. These dogs are just a local breed. Of course they're attuned to seasonal changes. You're probably right. It's the same with the planet. It's the same with the plants, you know? They adapted to the city's internal cycles and... Demons! The greenhouse plants! I won't keep you if you need to water them or something. Something like that. Goodbye, Sem. Thanks for answering my questions. Goodbye, Doctor. What a strange man. Oh no, my plants. It's much worse than I thought. Several plants are already showing signs of necrosis. Some are beyond aid. The tropical species suffer the most. The greenhouse climate control system offered no protection. This is very odd. The temperature drop must be slight and fairly recent. Cellular damage should be occurring at a much slower pace. Unless it's the water. Water could carry the damaging agent directly into the system, bypassing external defenses. That would explain the speed of the alterations. You better be wrong about this, Galen. This is bad. I didn't notice. Someone is slowing down the currents, binding them with magic. All right, get a grip. Countering the effect will be tedious, but water magic is your specialty. That probably can't be said about the conjurer who did this. Wait, so he's slowing the current at which the water moves so that it drips less? Oh, this is bad. I didn't notice. Someone is slowing down the currents, binding them with magic. Okay. Alright, get a grip. Countering the effect will be tedious, but water magic is your specialty. That probably can't be said about the conjurer who did this. Preparations are in order so I can perform the water quickening ritual, but the plants are already dying. So that's top priority. 3 specimens have been affected the most. I can't save them all. But spirits! I won't let the saboteur destroy the garden. Not on my watch.
Don't worry, babies. Restoring vital forces is one of the things I do best. One of you will feel much better in a second. But which should I choose? There's the water flame, known as the healer's friend. It saved countless lives. A very potent antidote, even without refining. If applied quickly, it will neutralize most toxic agents. With a little bit of magic, it can heal even major wounds. Then the white myrrh. Famous mainly for its hallucinogenic properties. A posh recreational drug popular among high society and students. Expensive unless you know how to grow it. And they taught us that at the academy. Joke's on you, rich folk. But what most people don't know is that it's a catalyst that can help you lose weight. Or enhance your magical talent. The last one is sweet anise, or the stealth killer. A dangerous poison, which unfortunately enough, tastes fantastic. It's not a plant, it's a weapon. The best thing to be said about this little demon is that it kills instantly. There's no time to waste. I need to choose. Oh boy. So, one of them survives and the others die.
Instant kill is the best plant. Yeah, but like, I'm a doctor, right? Shouldn't I want to keep the healing plant? Plus, wouldn't that look bad on me if I had a poison plant, like, just here at my disposal? That would look pretty suspicious. Not gonna lie. The magical drug is interesting. The irony, though, death grips the plant. Death grips the plants that heal. Wait, it was called Death Grips? That is quite ironic. The drug? It said it can boost magic, but like, I'm a magician. I don't know. All these will be useful later. I guess we have to think about what we can't do. If we don't have the poison, then we can't instantly kill somebody with poison. That's, you know, that's self-explanatory. Without the drug, we won't be able to boost our magic or have wicked trips, I guess. We'll be stuck at our baseline magic, which I don't know what what Galen's baseline magic even is. So results may vary. And the healing without the healing plant, we won't be able to heal people, which would be bad as a doctor. I don't know, because like I can't see the future, so I don't know which one's gonna be the most useful. I feel like this is a very important decision. Cap, what do you think? Any opinions in chat? You can heal, you can't heal as easily. You still have herbs to heal. How many plants you got that can one tap? I mean, I guess that's right. Like, most of my plants are for healing. Okay. We'll go with the poison. Someone is intentionally damaging the city's system. I must be ready to strike back. I can't kill anyone, but weakening them with poison is different.
With the right dosage and a spell or two, my little friend can incapacitate the saboteur for good. Let's work some magic and save a plant's life. Is that him doing magic? Live! There. I think it worked. I feel a bit weak though. It was more training than I expected. The curse must be pretty strong. Glad there's a party tonight. I need to relax and recharge. Hope there won't be any more surprises. This was one of the focal points in the flow system sustaining the city. A point of access to the waters for small flow adjustments. Had a couple fail-safe mechanisms and at least a dozen filters. The first of the 3 safety barriers must be gone. That couldn't have been an accident. What? Destroying this was no easy task. It must have taken days of precise work and knowledge to execute. I feel sorry for the person who did this. They won't survive if the city falls. How desperate must one be to do something like this? They must see no other way out of their misery. I wish I could just talk to them. As for the leak, I can block it for now. The flow can only be repaired from the control chamber, though. I need to find it soon. If our mysterious saboteur has gone through such effort as this, there's no reason for them to stop now. The control chamber is the only way to assess the extent of their actions. Ha! Is it Lunatic Day? You won't last through true winter if you're speaking to yourself already. You're coming back from Istvan, I presume? I wish. At least Istvan's predictable. Sem just came at me out of the blue. Sem just came at me out of the blue with a knife. You must have done something to aggravate him that much. We just talked. I suggested something and he attacked me. What was it? I wanted to organize a dogfight like the tribes have. Normally I prefer the merchants' idea of fun, but in the dead season we have nothing else. You suggested a dogfight to the resident dog person? No wonder he got angry. That's the understatement of the winter. He could have just said no, you know. I tried to calm him down, but he was in some sort of trance. His eyes were glazed, his face was all red. Something seriously wrong with him. You sure you didn't say anything else? It seems so unlike Sem. The only thing that could count as an insult was that I told him he treats those damn flea bags as if they were his family. And this isn't even the first time this has happened. Just ask Kasaya. Oh no. Huh, okay. Is Sem actually unhinged?
Okay, before we get to this next plot twist, I'm gonna take a short break. BRB, everybody. Welcome back. I'm back. Just as a reminder, this stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, the best RPG on Just kidding. Not really. I hope you don't mind. I opened myself up a new box of Myconites to snack on here. I think you're allowed to eat on stream. I don't think that's just allowed. Okay. Just ask Kasaya. Wait, which one is Kasaya again? There's so many of them. Oh, it's the guard guy that we hate. Oh no. I know that look. You're falling for him already. I've seen the way he stares at you. Let me tell you, it's not necessarily a good thing. Bro, no. Yani, don't. Yani, no. Not Sam. Pick someone else. I'm merely stating that there's usually more than one version of a story. Frankly speaking, what do you think of this? He stares at me? Sam is a bit odd. Dogfights are cruel. No, Yani. I'm not gonna do this one. Please. Please choose somebody else. I mean, maybe he's, like, good at heart or whatever, but I don't know, he's just weird. I'm going to condemn dogfighting, because that's just messed up. Why would she say that to him? Your suggestion was cruel. If that's your idea of fun, I can almost see why someone might want to blow this place up. That's why I ran it past Isfahan before I went to Sem, to make sure it's something you delicate southerners could stomach. Nothing explains what he did. Probably not, but at least he prevented a savage spectacle by being savage himself. You know why I decided to stay in the city? Everything's here. Entertainment, soft beds, fancy clothes. Not to mention the booze selection. You can do whatever you want here. But now it's getting colder by the day. We're spinning our wheels, and Sem won't even consider using the dogs for a show. Constance is throwing a party tonight. Isn't that enough for you? Drinking and meeting the same people I see every day at the inn. Joy, oh joy. The drinks are over at the edge of the basin. Please help yourselves. Yani, so gracious of you to come. You look better by the day. I hope the doctor won't object to you having some wine. I would never do such a cruel thing. On the contrary, she may need some warming up after all she went through. Marvelous. Let's all use this evening to dull our senses. A bit of wine would be lovely, though. Thank you, Constance. My pleasure. I'll make sure everyone else is fine and be back to chat in a little while. Please, feel at home. It's a party, so let's keep things light and fun. What'd you find out about the explosion? Do you have any clue as to who did it? Not so fast. Why are you so sure this was a sabotage and not a random malfunction? These things were not built to fail randomly. So unless you're really terrible at your job and broke them yourself, you know, now that I think of it, I haven't seen you doing any actual maintenance work. I'll let that slide, since you've clearly had one drink too many. If only the saboteur was so careless. So you agree there is one? Yes. Someone worked meticulously to destroy the first barrier. At this rate, they'll destroy the city before the true winter ends. But we'll need to stop them. That's all you've got? We need to stop them? Brilliant. Oh, please. If you manage to solve the case, feel free to enlighten me. Hey, this party was supposed to break the grim mood that fell over us yesterday. No whispering or suspicious glances, friends. Let us all enjoy each other's company, mingle, and forget your problems for one evening. Please. Wiser words were never spoken. Lead me to the food trays. I'll join you in a moment. I have to admit, having everyone in one place is a great opportunity for observation. Come on, you're not supposed to be working, Yani. Live a little. There's Kasaya. Maybe he learned something new since we last spoke? Looks like he's leaving, though. I would certainly like to know where he's wandering off to in the middle of a party. But it seems Galen's already on it. I wonder if I should do my job. No. Leaving so soon? Galen? Are you sure it's a good idea to leave all those people without protection? That lot? They'll manage just fine without me. Maybe they will. But don't be surprised by me saying, I told you so, if there's another system malfunction and somebody just, I don't know, spontaneously combusts. That was good, Kasaya. I didn't realize you knew how to joke. My compact clearly states I must uphold the highest standards of behavior, both as a city official and a representative of the families, which requires me to look very serious at all times. Really? Of course not. Now, care to tell me why you're following me? I was curious as to why you left so suddenly. Why do you care? I wanted to party with you, ask you about new clues. I've been watching you all evening. You looked like you were waiting for something, and now you leave for no apparent reason. You found a new clue, didn't you? You have very keen observation skills, Galen. Yes, I did learn something new. But I can't talk about it. Not yet, anyways. Why don't you head back to the party and relax for a change? Do you really want me to use my famous puppy eyes on you, Captain? I recommend you try using it on Sem or one of his huskies. They might actually appreciate it. I agree. You don't deserve to see me being absolutely adorable. Well, I'm sorry to end this, lovely talk, but I really need to go. I understand. I'll head back then. I really hope you do. If you intend to follow me, I may be forced to arrest you for obstructing my investigation. What investigation? Shut up. So please, stay away. Yeah, bye. Whatever it is you're hiding, you won't keep it secret for long. Finally, free booze! Now I can face whatever uptight company this city throws at me. Oh, I don't think one glass will be enough if Yani or Laura corner me here. Hey Slava, how are you holding up? Great. People are drinking all around me and I can join in without worrying about whether everyone's fed or has their glasses full. I can see you found the liqueur. That I have. You're not really having fun, are you? How could I? At least at the inn I had to I had to work to take my mind off Lev. Now I keep thinking about something horrible just happened to him. Must have happened to him. Any news? No. This not knowing is driving me crazy. Did you find anything out by chance? I'm sorry, it's only been 2 days. I need a drink. Couldn't agree more. If you want to take your mind off things, this is the best remedy. Follow me. Galen? Galen? You're not gonna poison her, are you? Galen, I need you to work with me here. Okay, let's not do anything rash. Yani, are you enjoying yourself? Yes. You certainly know how to keep the city's morale in check. You seem lost in thought. Is something bothering you? It's nothing. I was just wondering. It's nothing. I was just wondering, Kala, what do you think it is? The explosion, what do you think caused it? What do we know about Constance? Expert on beauty. Many years. Maybe sick. Oh, that was before. Under her wing. Tried to teach him manners. Constance lost her nerve. Was rewarded for being with Istvan's brother. Well, she had some sort of relationship with the former technician. So maybe she knows something about that? Is there anything that suggests that she would know anything about Kala? Where is she? I lost her. Helped him find the search. Well, I know what caused the explosion. I'm Yani. I'm the technician. What am I talking about? It'd be much more valuable to know what she thinks about Kala. I was wondering about Kala. It drove Lev mad, yet nobody seems to know much about it. Do you have any idea what it is? What do you want it to be? What do you mean? I was trained in local folklore and storytelling, so I can tell marvelous tales about Kala. There was one about a girl searching for Kala and a lecherous hermit. Istvan's brother particularly liked it, but I think the knight's too young for that story. Choose another one then. A true one, if you may. That's the point. There are none. Kala's just one more lie the family's told to attract travelers to the city. It adds to the exotic flavor. Now please excuse me. I think Slava's glass needs filling. That's exactly what I mean. It's hard for them to relax with all the compacts and general drama on their heads.
You should meet my tribesmen. Years of oppression and martyrdom did wonders for their social skills. Wonders. Yet here you are, drinking like a fish and being lovely and snarky at the same time. I give you 10 minutes until you start making out with someone in a corner. Too bad the selection's so limited. Unlike some people, I'm not desperate enough to get all touchy-feely with a bunch of misfits. Misfits? What a cruel thing to say. If we're misfits, what does that make you? I try very hard to fill the shoes of an exotic girl from the wild north. Dangerous and untamed. Oh, I do enjoy a bit of role-playing every now and then. Let me be the ignorant newcomer from the south. Tell me, mysterious girl, what kind of pagan abominations are we dealing with? You lost me there. My plants, the ones I've been taking such a good care of, have started dying recently. Any idea what might have caused it? Bah! You're no better than the previous doctor. You pretend to be easygoing, but inside you're constantly obsessing about your work. Was he really that much fun? He was the worst. Once he jumped me with his little notepad and began asking all sorts of questions about the northern flora. I can imagine how very helpful you were with his research. What did you tell him? That the only thing that grows around here is my disdain for fools like him. Ouch. But scholars tend to be like that, you know? So, is that the case? Is there no native vegetation, even with the hot spring? Oh, is it because he's drunk? Is there no native vegetation, even with the hot springs and proper soil? Proper soil and a proper curse. The ground here is tainted, so no, nothing grows. Are you sure you should be drinking so fast? You're getting a little wobbly. I am not getting, well, maybe a little bit. But only because I mix this purple stuff with some of that earthy blue thing. Besides, the drinking skills of my people are legendary. We have strong heads and strong stomachs. I see. Hell, you got drunk quickly. Constance drinks are no joke. Ah, well, I'm prepared for that. This little concoction will get me sober in no time. Just watch. Of course I'll watch. You just got a lot more interesting. Thumbs up. Ugh. Yuck. Now I feel real sick. It's good to know our health is in the hands of a true expert. Shun an unbeliever. Just you watch. This baby works miracles. Any minute now. And I'm back to normal. Right. Repeat after me. The sled speeds swiftly through the snow. Our good doctor is a drunkard and a clown. That didn't even rhyme. Repeat that or face the consequences. Oh, someone's getting feisty. Sorry, but I had to get drunk again to repeat such nonsense. Don't tell me it really worked. Damn, I'm impressed. Thank you. Wait, I wanted to ask you something important before we change the subject. I'm single, but not interested. Very funny, but I meant my greenhouse. The wilting plants are a bad omen. Frankly, I have no idea what's going on, but I bet my sled is somehow linked to the little present my honorable ancestors left in the caves. I'm still a tad tipsy. Are you really suggesting the tribes are attacking the city with curses? Right now? I doubt that. They have no chances whatsoever. No, it's just the nature of this place. It's all just suffering, you know?
So even without external attacks, we're cooked. We should be expecting more explosions soon, you reckon? Maybe yes, maybe no. Who cares? I know I can take all the city throws at me. Worrying beforehand is what the weak and fearful do. I swear, you're just like Lev, asking me about children's stories. So now you're saying they're just stories. Is that what you told Lev too? I told Lev exactly what he needed to hear. That there's no curse, no magic, and that he should just go back home and pay more attention to his wife. Why? With your knowledge of the city's secrets and his bravery and zeal, you make a perfect treasure hunting team. Don't be dense. Kala is a fairy tale that people chose to believe in because, for whatever reason, they want it to be real. So you weren't helping him in his quest? I told you already, Kala is an old joke that nobody gets. They all think it's the key to their salvation. They're as dumb as children. Okay. Well, we know that she's a liar. So... You're a true skeptic. That's a rarity. Even now you're playing the detective. And here I was hoping you might actually help me find a date. Yeah, pardon me. Here. Done. Sorry. When my detective instincts kick in, I simply must take notes. Yawn. You're terrible company tonight, Doctor. I can't leave you with that impression now, can I? Where's the booze, people? My friendship with Yakone and my ego are at stake here. The party was surreal. A desperate attempt at relaxation and joy. It failed miserably. Laura compared it to the calm at the eye of a cyclone. For me, it was more as if we turned our backs to a hurricane, hoping it would disappear. Everyone was feeling the gravity of recent events, though they pretended otherwise. As wine kept flowing, people began to lose their tempers, and the joyful appearances took a nosedive. Only Galen seemed immune. He was truly enjoying himself, drinking away and fooling around like a faculty novice on his first leave. I found it appalling. The only thing that kept me from leaving was the faint hope that our mysterious enemy would be drinking as well, and would let their guard down enough to make their first mistake. So I stayed, another fool waiting for things to happen of their own accord. Good thing Sem was there to keep me company. Uh-oh. Well, well, now this is a person I wouldn't expect to see here. Why? Pardon me, but you just don't seem like a party animal. Well, even I need a break sometimes. The dogs are killing me. They've been howling all night ever since that feral day Lev disappeared. By now I should be used to their behavior around Solstice, but it's impossible. Oh please, Sem. Dogs again? Is there nothing else in your life? No other reason to leave that cage of yours and join us humans? Well, now that you mention it, perhaps there's one. Really now? And what might that be? I'm not drunk, Doctor. I'm just very serious. You believe I'm not drunk, don't you? Of course. I also believe I'm not drunk enough. Let me just go grab... But you have to tell me what was inside the diary. What? Shh. Not so loud, the diary. I heard Slava gave it to you. I gave Yani the key, so I thought, good, now they have the full set. Right? Yani has the key to Lev's diary? That's what I said. Nobody ever listens to me. Oh, I'm listening all right. And from now on, I'm paying more attention to Yani as well. Apparently she didn't
hear that sharing is caring. There's always someone who attracts more attention. Always in the shadows. I'm trying so hard, too. What do I have to do, Doctor? I think you've had enough spirits for tonight. Drink plenty of water and go to sleep, Laura. But it'll be all fine tomorrow, you'll see. Now give me that glass and go lay down. I'm not getting any younger, you know. I know everyone expects me to, but the reality is different. Nonsense. I don't expect anything of the sort. You know that. I know you don't, and I appreciate it. It's just that I've been a prisoner of this city my entire life. A street thug enjoys more freedom. But now you're retired. You can do anything you want with your time. Yet somehow I still end up running this place for the entire winter. And every doctor, repair girl, or guardsman has conspired to waste my time with pointless requests. I'll never know peace or happiness as long as this city stands. Let it be damned and crumble to dust. I wish I could experience just a fraction of the suffering it caused me. You're being dramatic. As soon as the true winter ends, you'll have plenty of time for your astronomy. Even if I had all the time in the world at my disposal, I'm getting too old to do whatever my heart desires. I'm losing my eyesight, Slava. I can't even see the telescope anymore. I'm sure the doctor can help you with that. We're old, these things happen. Just don't forget that age comes with privileges as well. Or is your memory so bad I have to remind you of the high points in your recent life, old man? Ha! You always know how to make me feel better. I just wish you'd lie once in a while and tell me I'm 30 again. I will, when you look it. Are they a thing? Was that, wait. Since when have they been a thing? Has been having an affair. Okay. And collects information for him. I was skeptical at first, but I have to say this was an excellent idea. These waters really can do wonders. I like to imagine that he's inside the water with his dog coat on. It's in her contract, yeah. I remember. Told you. You even smell like a human now. Your dogs might have trouble recognizing you. So this was your nasty plan. And I was thinking we were here to forget about our everyday worries and jobs. You gave me too much credit. Besides, I never got why people were so fond of forgetting. I'd rather stay focused all the time. You can't trick nature. And if you don't let go once in a while, you'll crack. By cracking, you mean something along the lines of attacking a friend with a knife? You talked to Yukone. I guess I got a little carried away. A little? The way she described it, you went berserk. Did this sort of thing happen often? Only when someone's asking for it. So she's the one responsible for your fit of rage. Because she asked about a dogfight? Yeah, Sem's giving me real quiet kid energy. Like quiet kid in trench coat energy. You know what I mean? Listen. It was not about the dogfight. But I don't want to talk about it. Sorry, but that won't suffice. Not if you want to enjoy the rest of this party in my company. Yukone touched a sore spot. I told her to shut up, but she thinks she can say anything and get away with it. So it's about your family. Subtlety is not your strong suit, is it? Yes, it's about my family. But I'm done talking about it. Weren't we supposed to take this evening to relax?
Nothing relaxes me more than mysterious fits of rage. I bet I can come up with something better. Come here.
Just what do you think you're doing?
I want to give you a massage. Ugh. I'm not the best with words, but I'm pretty good at this. Consider it an apology. Bad move, Sem. That was a bad move, which is good for us, because this is a horrible pair. This is a horrible pairing. I'm glad he's bombing right now. A massage from Sam? No way. That's very, this makes me very uncomfortable. No, yes? Are you crazy? I'm not letting him massage her. No, no. Nothing could be better. Just the way he did it though, like the scootin', like the I want to give you a massage. That's cursed. He's awkward. It's a stick. No way. Thank you, but I'm not in the mood. You're tense. Laura's more depressed than usual. Slava can't forget about her husband. Everyone's drowning their sorrow. I see. Maybe we should join them. Let me fetch you a glass. Constance was a hell of a hostess. The drink she served put all 33 types of rum from Pepper Island to shame. The good guy, the dog guy said fetch. Oh my gosh, shut up. The drink she served put all 33 types of rum from Pepper Island to shame. The flavors, the texture, the suspicious colors, and the kick. It was an alcoholic paradise. Of course, one can never know when a doctor will be needed, so I kept my sobering concoction close and tried not to get too crazy, which wasn't very difficult as Kasaya left quite early. Why is the game trying to pair him with Kasaya? I don't know. Every indication I'm making is that I don't want them paired up. There was a lot of gossip, but I got the feeling everyone was refraining from sensitive topics. A reasonable strategy for an isolated group of people that couldn't afford to make enemies. You don't have to be a clairvoyant to realize their relationships are complex. There was hostility between Slava and Laura, a strange aura of distrust surrounding Sem, and the way people were looking at Istvan seemed a mixture of fear, respect, and sheer hatred. Yakone was an outsider. Constance seemed to be the only one everyone genuinely liked. And, I'm actually going to end there. Because it is now 8 o'clock. So we will pick up right here. Next time. Quit. I'm back. The next stream will start with Laura. Yeah, Not the most exciting character. She's probably one of the least interesting, honestly. Well, that's not true. Well, maybe. I don't know. I think all these characters are getting layered, you know. They're all kind of interesting right now. Laura, well, maybe Laura is like the least though. All that to say, I agree. Um, but that's the stream for tonight. That's the last you'll see of Solstice until week after next week. And in fact, it's the last stream you'll see from me all year. Because next stream will be January 1st. Where I'll be doing some more voiceover stuff. And perhaps even I will be recording for a role that I was cast for. Which, again, if you weren't here for that, I got cast for a role on Casting Call Club, which is exciting for me. It's the first role I've ever been cast for. Haven't received any information about it yet, though. I suspect that, well, I was suspecting that I'll probably hear more about it tomorrow, because the project closes today. Auditions close today, supposedly. So hopefully I'll have that to do for you guys on Monday. After we ring in the new year. I won't be here Friday because I'll be with friends. There was something else. There's something else that I thought of during the BRB that I was like, I need to tell them this. I need to tell them about this. What was it? Let me retrace my steps. I don't remember. I mean, clearly, it's not very important. So, yeah, I guess that's all. I won't drag this on any longer. I'm trying to be better about not dragging on these end segments. I really am considering like writing a script or something. Oh, right. I was gonna say this. So it's actually a pretty major thing that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking I upload everything to YouTube anyway. So would it be a better idea to stream on YouTube or not? Because I don't know what the differences are. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Twitch is more robust than YouTube is. Can you stream? Wait, I think you can stream both at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can stream on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. That'd save me some time, I think. YouTube TOS is the pits of oblivion. Stay away. Is that so? I guess that's true. Do you have any particular examples, Cap? Do you have personal experience? I apologize for this ASMR, by the way. I'm trying not to get the chewing sounds here. Unless you're into that. I mean, I'm flexible. Anyway. So yeah. maybe thinking about doing that, or not, if the TOS is as bad as you say it is. I mean, we don't. I mean, all my VODs are on YouTube. The only one that ever got flagged for anything was one of the Fallout streams. That was for licensed music playing in the background. So I'll give it a look. A lot of tubers I watch are always getting cucked by YouTube because some TOS that's obscure and not communicated well at all with no mercy. They are Satan. Wow, that's pretty low praise there. Or high condemnation. Okay, well. I mean, I like what we got going right here for now. I mean, we have a pretty humble stream, so maybe not a good idea to split the audience anyway. So I don't know if I want to make it a goal next year to like expand the stream or not. It would be nice to like get what is it? What is the next step up? Is it partner? Twitch partner? Twitch affiliate. I think that's what it is. It'd be nice to have affiliate, so at least I could have emotes. Maybe I should make that a goal. Not sure what else. Not sure what I could change up though. TikTok is the next best thing. Well, I'll tell you this. No. I think I'll pass on that. But I thank you for this. Thank you for the suggestion, Cap. I do believe it is in good faith. So there's that. Wait, what was I talking about? What the heck? I was talking about streaming. Oh yeah, trying to get affiliate. Don't know what strategies to take with that. I'm not like a power gamer. You know, I don't want to like play the system right. Like, gotta get those thumbnails on point and all that. It just feels a little commercial, for lack of a better word. I mean, like, I'm not an anarchist or whatever, but I don't know. I like what I'm doing right now. And if people come to watch, then they come to watch, you know? So. Okay, well, we're 10 minutes over time. I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you, everybody, for watching and supporting the stream by being here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I know there's not a lot of my commentary in here, because it's, you know, reading text. Actually, opinion. Do you guys want me to keep streaming this game? Or no? Because it's not... I'm thinking maybe this isn't a good stream game. Wait, what'd I ask? If you wanted me to keep playing it? Or if you wanted me to stop playing it? What was that no for? I forgot. I forgore. Because, like... I mean, there's not much gameplay, is there? Should we just move on? I mean... I hate to give up in the middle of a game. Well, I mean, I guess we have done that before, haven't we? The last one was Heart and Slash. That was a roguelike, though. I mean, I'm kind of invested in the story, but it seems like something to play by yourself, you know?
This game is mind-numbing after the first stream. Winter theme games that take place in a dome is cringe. Okay. Well, I don't know why you didn't tell me that the first time. Well, I guess I didn't ask. Because I was thinking about it while I was playing, like, is this even a good stream game or no? I'm thinking probably not. Like, visual novels, probably not good for streaming. It'd be better if I did like a edited YouTube thing. But Sem is keeping the game alive? Yeah, I don't know. I'll ask later. I don't know if I can put it up to a vote or not. Is there a way to make a vote in Twitch? I really need to figure that out. Commands. Keybinds. Jump to split. Use current tab. Create a clip. I'm thinking that might be like a plugin. Oh well. You could use Twitter. Yeah, but not everybody. Well, I doubt everybody here has my Twitter account. Whatever. Over the next streams, I'll ask about it. See, get opinions. But until then, as I was saying, before I interrupted myself again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're not watching, and I'll be back. I'll see you next year. You know, I had to, right? I'll see you next year, guys. On Monday. Where I'll be doing some voiceover stuff. So, I hope to see you there. But until then, thank you. Have a good night, good evening, and goodbye.